Two animals that went extinct 7,000 years ago just showed up alive. A vet performed CPR on a baby parrot on camera, and a country just protected more land than Yellowstone and Yosemite combined. This is the best good news from March 2026. Let's go. And stick around for the last story. There's a tiger cub, a disappearance, and camera footage that made a whole research team lose it. So here's one that broke my brain a little. Scientists in New Guinea just confirmed that two species of possum, a tiny long-fingered one and a ring-tailed glider, are alive, which sounds normal, except both species were considered extinct for 7,000 years. We only knew they existed because of fossils dug up in the 90s. That means these animals have been quietly living in the forests of West Papua since before the pyramids went up. Nobody noticed. A team from the Bishop Museum in Honolulu worked with indigenous communities in the region to track them down. And on March 4th, they made it official. Two Lazarus species confirmed at the same time. One of the lead scientists said he'd never seen anything like it. I had to read that headline 3 times. Okay, this one's my favorite. I'm not even pretending to be objective. New Zealand has this parrot called the Kakapo. It's the world's only flightless nocturnal parrot. Green, chunky, about the size of a cat. And in 1995, there were only 51 of them left on the entire planet. This month, over 100 chicks hatched in a single breeding season. That's the most ever recorded by a lot. The old record was 85. Here's what makes it even wilder. Kakapo only breed every 2 to 4 years, and only when specific trees produce enough fruit. So every season is all or nothing. 78 females nested this year across 3 predator-free islands. The total adult population before this season, 235. So we're talking about a nearly 50% boost in one go. And then there's the moment that'll stick with me. A vet named Adam Naylor found a chick that wasn't breathing. Purple, floppy, basically gone. He gave it mouth-to-beak CPR, gently blowing air into this tiny parrot until it took a breath. By the next day, the chick was completely fine. Its name is Hoo Hoo. From 51 birds to this. Come on. All right, different vibe. You probably grew up seeing monarch butterflies. Maybe you raised one in a jar in elementary school. Their numbers have been dropping for decades, and it's been a real gut punch for anyone paying attention. Good news, the eastern monarch population in Mexico just jumped 64% over last winter. They're now covering almost 3 hectares of forest, which works out to roughly 62 million butterflies. That's the biggest population in 7 years. The rebound came from better breeding conditions in the Midwest and more food along the fall migration route. And here's a detail I genuinely didn't expect. Illegal logging inside Mexico's Monarch Butterfly Biosphere Reserve has been practically eliminated since 2008. Now, they're still way below their 90s peak. 80 to 90% down, but the trend just flipped hard, and that matters. Now, here's one I didn't see coming. Bolivia has one of the highest deforestation rates on Earth. So when I tell you they just protected 2.2 million acres of Amazon rainforest and Andean highlands, that hits different. 4 new protected areas. And the whole thing was driven by local communities and indigenous groups, not the national government. The biggest chunk, over 1.3 million acres, happened because residents in one municipality got worried that deforestation was killing their Brazil nut harvests. So they did something about it. The local council president put it simply, the past was deforestation. The present is conservation. These new areas connect to existing national parks, creating corridors for jaguars, harpy eagles, river dolphins, and Andean bears. 2.2 million acres, bigger than Yellowstone and Yosemite put together, from the bottom up. And speaking of comebacks, this next one got me. But the story after it, that's the tiger. We're almost there. North Atlantic right whales are one of the most endangered large animals alive. Only about 384 left. For the past decade, more have been dying than being born. They got their name because whalers considered them the right whale to hunt. Yeah, this calving season just produced 23 babies. That's the most in 17 years. More than double last season. One of the mothers is a whale named Ghost. She's almost 50 years old, and this is her 9th calf. Another mom, Mirror, is just 10, having her very first 23 new calves when your whole population is 384. Every single one of those matters more than I can explain. Okay, reset. Totally different angle. Most people assume we're only losing species. Makes sense. That's basically all you hear. But a study from the University of Arizona, published this month, found something that stopped me cold. Scientists are now discovering over 16,000 new species every year, more than 10,000 animals, 2,500 plants, 2,000 fungi. And the pace is getting faster, not slower. 15% of every known species on Earth was found in just the last 20 years. Oh, and researchers think there might be 115,000 species of fish out there. We've only found 42,000. The ocean's barely started talking. Remember the tiger I mentioned at the start? Here he is. In Thailand's Klong Lan National Park, a cub was born with markings shaped like the Greek letter gamma on his hips. So that became his name. For months, camera traps tracked Gamma and his brother moving between two national parks, learning to survive. Then at 16 months old, Gamma vanished. A new adult male had moved into the territory. Male tigers kill cubs that aren't theirs. The research team expected the worst. Then, earlier this year, a camera trap lit up. Gamma, alive, healthy, holding his own territory. Here's the bigger picture. Thailand just became the first country in Southeast Asia to actually grow its wild tiger population. Cambodia, Laos, Vietnam, they've lost theirs entirely. Thailand's numbers went from around 150 to over 179. One cub, tracked from birth, beating the odds, in a country that decided these animals were worth the fight. That's not a fairy tale. That's just what happens when people don't give up. The headlines almost missed that one. There's another one on your screen right now. The world is better than you think.